you want to sell at a craft show, but you have no idea how people are building this much inventory to sell at them. I know, you're probably feeling pretty overwhelmed right now. You've got a lot of stuff going on. You're a small business owner. You may have a family. You may be going to school. You may work full-time. Whatever it is that you already do, I know you're stressed out. I know it doesn't feel like you have enough time. In this video, I'm going to be helping you, giving you actionable tips on how to create more time in your schedule to market prep so that you have way more inventory at your next show. And by the end of this video, you're going to be feeling so good, so motivated. I'm going to be unlocking some superpowers in you that you might not even know that you have, and helping you hack your time so that you can get more done in less time for your upcoming shows. Hey makers, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're hanging out with me here on YouTube today. If you are new here, I want to introduce myself. My name is Cameron and I run my own crochet boutique called Cameron's Cute Creations. My YouTube channel is all about helping you grow your handmade business as well, specifically selling at craft shows. Craft shows are kind of my jam. They're kind of my thing. I'm like obsessed with them, and my channel is all about helping you make more money at your shows as well. If that interests you, be sure to subscribe down below because I post lots of videos, lots of tips, and you do not want to miss out on some of the future stuff I have coming up. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my secrets that I have learned over years of selling at craft shows. Now, you might be like, yeah, Cameron, you have all the time in the world. You do this full time, you get to crochet all the time. Here's the thing though, when I first started my business back in 2019, I was a full-time student. It wasn't until 2021 that I pursued it full-time. Even now, I do things like content creation, and I also make digital products, so my time is spread pretty thin. I'm always feeling that I don't have enough time. I wish I had more time to crochet. Honestly, I wish I did. For me and my schedule and my business right now, I crochet for about 2 hours every day, and that is enough to prep for my big shows. How I fit that in and how that is enough, I am going to be undercovering in today's video where I share all of these hacks with you. So let's jump into the first thing. We are going to hack your time so that you actually have more time in your day. What are you talking about? More time? We all have the same amount of time every day, yes, but it's what you do with that time. Even though you feel super duper busy, I'm just gonna throw an example out there. Maybe you're a mom and you work full time, and maybe you're even going back to school and it just feels like there's so much going on right now. There are certain pockets of time throughout your day that you haven't even realized are there yet that you can actually fit in market prepping. It's such a cool hack to keep it in mind throughout your days and see where those pockets of time are. And maybe you're waiting to pick up your kid in the pickup line and you have 10 minutes where you usually scroll your phone on Instagram. You can bring your crochet, you can crochet instead. Or maybe you have a doctor's appointment and you pulled up 20 minutes early because I don't know about you, but I would rather be way too early than late to something. And so I find myself having these weird gaps of time before appointments or before gatherings that I usually, if I don't have my crochet, will just scroll on Instagram or scroll on social media and waste that time that I could be actually prepping. So I want you to notice those things. Something that's really helped me in the past is actually time tracking. So for example, let's just say tomorrow I want to time track what I'm doing throughout my day. I'm just gonna get out my notes phone on my app, and every time I switch the task that I'm doing, I'm gonna write down what time it is. It sounds like it's a lot, but I promise you if you can remember to do it, and even setting little alarms on your phone throughout the day and just seeing what an average day looks like for you, and you'll be surprised at how much time you go to your phone, and it doesn't sound like a lot, 5 minutes here and there. That time adds up. It adds up. If you think about it, if you think about 10-minute breaks and maybe you have 3 of them throughout the day, that's half an hour that you get to designate towards crocheting that adds to what you've already been doing, giving you more time to prep for your market. I'm gonna read you a study from 2021. It says various reports and studies suggest that on average, people spend around 3 to 4 hours per day on their smartphones. Okay, does anyone else just feel like sick after reading that? I feel like that's so much time. What are we even doing on our phones for that long? That little bits of time throughout the day really does add up. And I'm not against having fun on Instagram. I love Instagram, you know that. And we're not friends on Instagram yet. We should be friends on Instagram because I am on there a lot and I do love it. But think about cutting your Instagram time or your phone time from 4 hours to 2 hours and spending those 2 hours that you just gained back prepping for your craft shows. That's 14 hours a week. That's about 60 hours a month. do not underestimate those little pockets of time throughout your day. Maybe it's just 5 minutes that you get on your lunch break. You ate lunch, you got 5 minutes left, just crochet. Do a couple rows. All that time definitely adds up. Little by little, one travels far. Please do not underestimate those little bits of time. They are going to add up. This is going to be one of the biggest hacks that you can do for your time to not only get more market prepping done, but get other tasks that you want to get done in your business as well. Second tip I have for you is crocheting on the go. I don't know if you knew this. You have a bit of a superpower as a crocheter that a lot of other crafters don't have, and that is you can bring your crochet with you pretty much anywhere. I love to have my little... I am obsessed with my yarn bag. I got this for my birthday a few years ago from my friend Amanda, and I am obsessed with it. So I keep all of my project things in this bag. I keep it stocked with yarn. I keep it stocked with my current whips all of the time, and I bring this with me everywhere. It's like my everything bag because there's so many different pockets in this thing that I pretty much bring everything that I ever need anywhere in this thing. It's so nice to have. I know it's on Amazon, and I know a ton of other makers love this bag as well, so I will link it down below if you want to go check out or grab your own bag. It's definitely a lifesaver when you want to bring your projects with you on the go. I mean, you can put it in any bag you want, but this just keeps everything more organized. I have everything that just lives in this bag all of the time, and I never take it out. That way, I always know I have what I need, like tapestry needles, stitch markers, they all stay in here. And then I have other ones that I use at home, but this is my go bag. Like, this is the one I have that is prepped all of the time, no matter what, and I take it with me so often. I have a confession. I'm a self-proclaimed passenger princess. So what does that mean? So whenever Peyton and I are going somewhere together, I always say, passenger princess, I got my crochet bag, I got my whips out, even the 10-minute drive to the grocery store. And Peyton makes fun of me for it all the time. He's like, did you really need to bring your crochet for a 10-minute drive? And I go, you know what? Probably not, but I'm going to anyways. That's an example though of all the little bits of time that add up. If you can ride past your princess, I know it's not an option for everybody, and I feel pretty blessed that Peyton actually likes to drive, but if you can fit in crochet time anywhere that you can fit in those extra bits of time and bring it with you on the go. I'm not even gonna lie. I have crocheted at dinner before. Peyton and I will go out to eat sometimes, and as we're waiting for our food, I'm chatting with him, and I just have like a small project on my lap. Now, I just don't care anymore. I just like to crochet. I will do it anywhere. And it's really actually pretty cool because a lot of people, they won't judge you for it. I promise you, like a lot of the times people say something to you, they think it's really cool. They're like, what? You're crocheting? Or are you knitting? What are you doing? And what are you making? And people are really interested in it. And I've actually given out my business card to quite a few people, either wanting to learn how to crochet because I do teach lessons, or they want to buy something from me, and so I give them my business card so they can shop from me in the future as well. So I actually keep in my bag extra tags, extra business cards. Super nice to have those business cards. That's just a little extra bonus tip for you. If you are crocheting in public, you might as well be doing some free marketing as well. Okay, this one, this may be the craziest place I've ever crocheted. I went to a concert last May. It was a Hippo campus concert. We got there super early. We wanted to be really close to the band, so we were there, standing there for about an hour before the band came on, and I was so bored. And normally I would just chat with my friends, but they were playing music beforehand, like just on the stereo, so we couldn't even hear each other. It was dark, and I just whipped out my crochet from my bag, and I literally stood there and crocheted for an hour before the band came on. And I honestly, I don't know, I also crocheted on the wedding day. That was also kind of crazy of me, to be honest. I crocheted a few rows before I walked down the aisle, so yes, I crocheted in some weird, crazy places. I would love to know, do you ever bring your crochet with you on the go? And if you do, where is the craziest place you have ever brought your crochet? Share it in the comment section down below. I cannot wait to see where you have crocheted before, because you might spark some inspiration in me or other makers. Tip number 3 for you is the pattern really matters. I feel like a doubt that I hear all the time from makers who are worried about selling at craft shows is I would never be able to prep enough inventory because I'm a slower crocheter, or maybe I just spend so much time in intricate designs. I could never have as much stuff as you do. Here's the thing. I'm sure those big projects, like the big blankets you do, are beautiful, but those aren't really the right projects to make for a craft show. Maybe put those up online, and if you have them, of course, bring them to your show, see if they sell. But as far as projects that sell best at craft shows, honestly, $20 to $40 range works best. So that means if you want to be making enough for your time, I would keep your projects in the hour to 2 hour range max. I wouldn't invest more than 2 hours per product on average. I mean, there's some projects that I do that take me a little bit longer. Even my velvet beanies take me a bit longer than 2 hours, my adult size, but those are worth it because they sell really well for me. I'm making enough for my time, but on average, the things that are going to sell most often for you and you're going to make the most for your time are those things where you're sticking in the $20 to $40 range, which means you're probably going to want to stay under 2 hours of investing your time into that specific product. So if you're prepping for a show, making a bunch of small items is where I would suggest starting, not making this huge project. Even though the huge project is probably super cool, and maybe after you're done making some of those smaller items, you move on and you do make that big ticket item. My suggestion for you is to start with the smaller stuff. Start with the scrunchies, the keychains, the things that take you 5 to 10 minutes, even 30 minutes. Whip up a bunch of those first. You're gonna not only gain so much traction and feel like you're making so many things and get inspired to make more, but you're just going to have more available for your customers at the show. Really, it is crazy to see how much time you invest into these huge projects versus the small ones. And of course, you can do a little bit of both. I don't want to stop you from making your amazing, beautiful creations, but for the most part, if you want to get more out of your prep time, start with those smaller projects, even beanies. I have a ton of videos and a ton of inspiration for products that you can make that are under 2 hours on my YouTube channel, so I'll link some of those down below for you. Definitely keep your time investment low. That is going to help you out a whole lot while prepping more for your business. Just to put it into perspective for you, say you want to make this beautiful, huge blanket and it takes you 20 hours, and I'm sure it is probably so stunning. You know what? All that time you spent on it, you're gonna charge $300 for it, which is probably so worth it. But when you go to sell at a craft show and you don't have any other options and you just have this $100 to $300 blanket and you're like, somebody please buy it, sometimes those bigger ticket items don't sell at a show and you're left with no profits at all. On the other hand, if you spent that 20 hours instead of working on that one product that was super big and worked on a bunch of small products, maybe you made 25 scrunchies, 25 keychains, you made 5 beanies, you made 10 little amigurumi guys, just like so many different things, a variety, they're all smaller, everything took you under 2 hours to make, and all of those things combined actually may be worth $600 when you price everything, and you're gonna actually sell them at your show. Maybe you don't sell all of them, but maybe you sell half of them and you do make $300 at your show. That's super awesome, and that was with 20 hours. If we look back at the first thing I mentioned in this video, the time hacking thing, and taking out that phone time and incorporating more crochet time, if we were even just crocheting 10 hours a week, it would just take you 2 weeks to make all of those items and make that much in your business. Of course, it's all gonna depend on how long these projects take you, your pricing strategy, where you're located. So many factors go in, but in general, in my experience, this is what has worked the best for me, and this is the stuff that I love to teach to you here on YouTube. Another thing that I love to do personally when I'm market prepping, especially when I'm prepping on the go, like my crochet bag is always full of projects that I don't have to count a lot for, I don't have to refer to the pattern too often, things that are easy to memorize. My favorite is my velvet beanie pattern, not only because it's my best seller at my craft show, so I'm always making them, I'm always having to restock on them. I only have to count, I guess, the first chain, and then go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then I can kind of visualize and I count how many rows, and it's super easy. I don't have to count a ton, and it's just the same repetitive stitch. I can do it while hanging out with friends, hanging out with family. There's a lot of projects like that. Okay, let's see here. I have some of these books down here, like the Mama Made Mini patterns. They are super quick and easy to whip up, but you have to refer to the patterns a lot, so that's not one that I would necessarily bring on the go with me. Now, like another example are these lovely patterns from Lauren. Like, these patterns are so cool, and definitely ones that you could make for your shows. Probably not patterns that I would bring with me if I was just bringing my bag on the go. I would stick to easier patterns that you don't have to refer to or decrease and increase all the time and work on different body parts on the little animals. The chickens from Oak and Marlow are my favorite amigurumi pattern because that's a really easy pattern to memorize. It's super quick to whip up, and I make just a ton of bodies as I'm out and about, and then when I get back home, I will stuff them. I'll add their little, I always forget what it's called, their comb on top and their eyes. I do all that once I get home, so that's something else to keep in mind. Maybe you just make certain parts of some of these things while you're off on the go. I just wanted to mention that. I almost always am working on a velvet beanie or a blanket, something that's repetitive and back and forth. And usually smaller projects like a baby blanket or the baby beanies or beanies in general, those are all really great ones to bring with you if you're wanting to incorporate more on-the-go crochet. Now, I actually have a little bit of homework for you. Don't worry about it. It's not super hard. It's actually really fun for you because, I mean, we all want to fit in more crocheting, but it just feels like we don't have enough time. My challenge for you is this week. It's really, honestly, quite simple. Each day, I want you to find little pockets of time throughout the day. You can do it all at once, like 10 minutes, sit down, first thing in the morning, get it done. Or maybe you have 3 minutes here and 5 minutes there. Whatever it is, and of course you can do more than that, but my challenge for you this week is fit in an additional 10 minutes of crochet than you normally would be doing throughout your week, every single day this week. That is gonna add up, I promise you, and you can start stacking on top of that. Maybe the following week you add a little bit more time, but start small, and I promise you, just building this habit is gonna help you make so much more for your shows, making you more money, helping you get more time freedom in your life and in your business, because a lot of us want to do this because we want to be our own boss and we want to work for ourselves, and that allows us to have this time freedom. And if we can kind of hack our time now, that's gonna give us so much freedom as we grow our handmade businesses. So I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I would love to hear in the comment section, where are you going to try to incorporate more crochet this week? Maybe it's the pickup line at school, maybe it's before your next doctor's appointment, maybe you're just gonna bring it in the car with you because you know you're gonna be somewhere early at some point this week and you can get some rows in instead of scrolling on Instagram. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. If you want to keep hanging out with me here on YouTube, I'm gonna send you to a market prep vlog so that we can work on stuff together. You might as well start prepping right now. We're already hanging out here. It's easy. Just click on this video right here and we will continue market prepping together. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I always have such a fun time with you here on YouTube, and I will see you in this video right here. Bye!